Here we go. So, welcome everyone. We're very excited today to have another webinar on one of our favorite topics, Amazon advertising. And today we're going to talk about very important topics when you're touching advertising, and it's long-term growth strategies on and global success. So it's things we talk a lot about. So I'm very excited, and I'm very excited because I have two guests which know lots of things and much more than me. So that's great. And they will be doing most of the talking, Michelle from M19 and Marius from our team. So let's start with getting to know you a bit better. So Michelle, you go first.
Okay. Hi, my name is Michelle Gallardo, and I'm a customer success manager at M19. I have a background in e-commerce, retail, a bit of digital marketing. Basically, my job is to consist of driving business growth through strategic client relationships and data-driven insights. And what is M19? It is an AI tool that helps to create and optimize campaigns on Amazon advertising.
Awesome. Marius.
Yes, hello everyone. My name is Marius Popov. I'm the head of advertising at e-Comas. And before joining e-Comas 1 year ago almost, I went to different big corporations like Hewlett-Packard, Oracle, and last 8 years in Procter & Gamble, managing different big brands. And yeah, I'm based in Luxembourg, where our e-Comas HQ is, and I'm very excited to be here with you today.
Awesome. And I'm Jerome. I'm the founder of e-Commerce, and e-Commerce helps brand understand, navigate, and grow on Amazon. And today we're partnering with M19, which is one of our partners. And we want to dive into the topic right now. So we have a different parts, but I wanted to start with why, the famous, start with why, is why talk about long-term and strategies and advertising strategies. A lot of brands we work with want to have like return on investment and profitability is an issue, and you want to have sales and grow your sales. Why are we talking advertising and long-term? Why is it so important? Who wants to go first?
I can start. So I think long-term and especially long-term advertising should be at the forefront of any brand that wants to grow long-term, right? So more especially if you're talking about advertising in new marketplaces, when we're talking about expanding the brand in new marketplaces on Amazon and building on the global scale, it's crucial, right? So always have the right KPIs for growth in mind, because let's take a short example of a brand that is looking only for the short-term profitability on growth, especially when you're launching on a new marketplace with new advertising campaigns. You will not see that, right? So this typical type of brand will be completely disillusioned by the high echoes that you will see, because obviously the brand awareness grows over time. The keywords ranking takes a lot of time, so the profitability is not in top factors that you should be looking at when you're launching. So you should always keep your long-term benefit, because if you're just looking on short-term, you will tend to take the wrong decisions. So this type of brand that looks over only short terms will tend to decrease the spend on search key terms, the ones that would actually bring the volume in long-term and long-term growth. So yeah, that's the main factor, is to have the clear KPI for growth and long-term growth in mind, from my perspective.
Michelle, what's your why?
Well, I don't have too much to say, as Marius already stole my words. But yeah, basically what he said about, he mentioned ACOS profitability. Basically, this brings me to the second point, which is data, that you shouldn't just think about expanding blindly. You need data to make more intelligent decisions. Yeah, basically that.
The great point. So if I summarize, is basically the looking at short-term profitability will come at the expense of future growth, right? So you want to keep the balance of, okay, you need to protect your profitability, but you need to invest in your future profitability. And I think that's super important. And one of, like, as soon as we talk about strategies and advertising, it's very data driven. There's lots of tools on Amazon, lots of different campaigns, lots of decisions to make. and those are made on data. But okay, the question is what data, what are the most important ones? Who wants to start on that data point? Like, which are the ones you want to focus on?
Okay, I can talk about that. Well, so as I mentioned, so it is important to check the data to make more informed and intelligent decisions. And to talk more about high-level perspective, one of the main metrics that should focus on is, for example, ACOS, the advertising cost of sales, because basically a lower ACOS indicates a higher efficiency. So sellers should aim for an ACOS that aligns with their profit margins and business goals. Monitoring ACOS helps in assessing the profitability of campaigns and identifying where adjustments are needed to maximize returns. Sorry. And also another metric is TACOS, so the total advertising cost of sales. These metrics provides broader view of an ad effectiveness that are needed to maximize returns. So this focus on the total sales. And also another metric is ROAS, so the return on advertising spend. So a higher ROAS, this is the opposite of ACOS. A higher ROAS, the better, because it means better performance. These ROAS help you understand the effectiveness of your ad and adjust the bids and budget to maximize revenue. Also, as I mentioned before, the profits, talking about vendor accounts, the net PPM, which is the net pure profit margin, which means that Amazon profit while selling through vendor accounts. This is important in the long term because a good net PPM means that Amazon is happy and therefore they will reorder from your brand. Inventory levels. So if you're able to keep up with the demand of your customers, that's also a good sign for the long term. If you always have the buy box, if you always win it. Also rankings and share of voice, which basically means keyword performance, metrics like the impressions, click-through rate, conversion rate. So basically, regularly analyze keyword performance to identify high-performing keywords and optimize and remove underperforming ones. And this is also like the visibility is also connect with sales. It's a flywheel effect. The more visible you are, the higher sales you get. So also monitor bestseller ranks in your respective category. And I think those are in my perspective, the most important KPIs on a high level perspective.
And on data for you, Marius, are there's like what are there's your favorite ones or the ones you focus on from the list we just had, for example?
Yeah, it's not necessarily on the list because it was very good covered by Michelle, but I have one that is not necessarily linked to advertising, but it greatly impacts it, and that's the customer insights and defining your typical shopper. So for me, I think it's really important for any brands to clearly define the shopper profile, the typical shopper profile in terms of demographics, customer behavior, shopping frequency, shopping basket, and everything related to that. Because this can help brands, getting all this data can help brands to tailor everything from content, from listing, A+, advertising creatives, even the advertising campaigns to better serve that specific customer. So I think it's key to have all this data, either if you leverage it from Amazon Brand Analytics, from AMC, or whatever tool that a brand can have access to this kind of data. I think it's crucial for long-term growth and yeah, for data-driven decisions for sure.
And when I hear you guys talk about that, that's a big list of data. That's, you know, it's a great, like it's a lot. So Michelle will probably say a tool is helpful, but like how do you work to make sense of all of that? How, How is that? You go from like all of the data you're checking, or is there a path of checking the data? How do you look at making sense of all that data? Marius, do you want to start? And then Michelle.
Mm,
Yes, I can start.
yeah.
It, it really depends on the moment that we're talking. So if you're referring specifically to new product launches, obviously you look at all sets of data, but you will see them through different type of eyes, right? So conversion, it will be a very good one. The click-through rates, the search volume that your advertising listing are capturing. So again, you have to have the right expectations, especially you as a brand is launching into your new marketplace, into a new geography. The brand awareness will be super low, so it's an uphill battle. So you have to have all the patience, and also to have in mind that a cost or advertising cost of sales, it will much look like a glide path. It will not be like a clear line. So having the right expectations and obviously checking the right data would help you have a successful launch into that direction.
Thanks.
Also complementing Mario's answer, what he said, like it also depends on your objective. If you're launching product, you cannot immediately check your profits because at the beginning probably you're not going to be profitable. You're just starting, or if it's just to boost sales, increase sales, so yes, you're going to check your total sales, sponsor sales. So it also depends on what is your objective. So you can define which are your North Star KPI or your most important KPIs.
And like if I'm listening to you and I say, okay, let's say we can take two use cases which are often the cases. One is growth, like I want to grow, like whatever the cost kind of grows. And one is, okay, I want to make sure I'm not wasting or I'm not burning money. What could you give us an example, maybe one each, of what would be like the KPIs you want to focus on in the one case or in the other case, like growth or profitability focus?
Okay. So for example, as you said, like if you want to grow and you don't want to be burning money, so a good indicator can be ACOS, because it doesn't matter if you spend $100 or €8 or 1,000. If your ACOS is low, at the end it's worth it. ACOS or TACOS, like the ratio like to the total sales, I think those are important in this case of growth.
When you're looking at growth,
sales
right?
as well.
Okay. Marius,
Yes.
what would be the ones when you're looking at maybe at profitability, or maybe it's the same but with different at different points, right?
Yeah, pretty much the same. So if I'm looking at profitability, I will check ACOS or ROAS, depending from which perspective are you looking at, and keep a clean eye
ROAS.
on that one. Yeah. On the other side, if you are looking for growth, I will be checking what's our reach, what's our click-through rate, what's our conversion. So how is our offer competing in that specific marketplace, right? Because I want to grow. I'm not necessarily looking for the profitability, so I will invest as much as possible into bringing visibility to my offer. And especially if I have a very good conversion, I will keep on pushing because it's the right way to go to long-term growth.
Okay, and like maybe to put some numbers or some perspective on what we're saying, we're talking about ACOS, so average cost of sales, which is how much you're spending versus how much your advertising sales are. What is a healthy, or how much is, when you're looking at being profitable, the one where you want to be, or what's a good level, and when does it start to be very expensive or too expensive? Could we offer some kind of benchmark there?
If I can,
Sure.
Well, sure, go Maris.
sorry, I think it really depends on each brand's profitability analysis and P&L. But for me personally, because I'm also a seller on Amazon, I tend to have a maximum ACOS of 29 to 30%. So it really depends on the P&L calculation. But yeah, that's pretty much my my maximum ACOS. It really depends on where I'm at in a product launch, or if it's a product that's already old and pretty much established in the market.
And Michelle, do you have?
Yeah, I mean, basically the same. It really depends the marketplace, the category, the level of competitiveness. Because for maybe some categories and maybe some markets, 20% ACOS, just to say a number, it's good. While in others are more competitive, 40% is good. So it really depends. And I have clients that sells all type of products, and it's really different. I think it's important also to find a sweet spot where you are profitable and you are not you are profitable and you have a good ACOS. I mean, it's have to test basically.
Yeah, and so there's a trap we could fall into, and I want to be clear with the audience today that we tend to talk about ACOS not alone, and you have to take ACOS into the broader scope also of TACOS, which is saying, okay, how much I'm spending and generating in advertising sales, but also how much I'm spending and how much I'm getting in total sales, because there's a halo effect of advertising, a bit like there's an impact in time of advertising. There's an impact in broadness, if I could say, on advertising. If we talk about takeoffs at the same level, I know we have some golden numbers. What would be like golden numbers? Now, Michelle, maybe you can start on, like, do you have any insights or things you could share from your point of view, what you see in the market?
Yeah, that also depends, but generally speaking, I would say between 10 to 15% tacos, those are used to be, like, normally are good numbers. Higher than that might be some problems.
Marius, I think you would agree with the 10 to 15%. No,
Yeah, I fully agree, of course. I haven't had anything more than 14 as a target, but yeah, exactly that range to 10 to 15.
well, it's similar as giving a discount. So giving more than 15% discount, because it's money you're taking off from your profitability, it becomes a lot. And we talked about the fact of, okay, depending on the market, depending on where you are on the product, on the category, your ACOS, your TACOS targets could be different, because you could be expanding, you could be new in a place or another place. And that brings us to the global expansion, which is the third part of our discussion today. And for me, it's a bit about the potential. And I'm always very excited about when we talk to brands is, okay, you could tap into so many more customers going into a new country, right? Because in your own country, sometimes you find blocked, or it becomes very expensive to expand your reach. Going to a new market can be very cheap to get new customers. I'd like us to take a bit of time on that, on the challenges of going into another market and growing advertising in a new in a blue ocean a bit where you were not. Marius, do you want to start to talk a bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. So sorry, exactly, growing to and expanding to globally and tapping into Amazon reach and to Amazon penetration into the global markets. I think it's absolutely the best way to go for any brand that wants to long-term growth. So yeah, in terms of main challenges, the first one I think that, and sometimes is overlooked by brands, it's really understanding the marketplace that you're launching. So by understanding, I mean everything related to how big the marketplace is. You're probably already established as a brand in a marketplace, and you always have to compare, because most of the times that specific marketplace is completely differ in terms of size, in terms of trends, in terms of customer shopping behavior. So just to give you a rough example, let's say you're in US marketplace and you're launching into Europe and in France, for example, you'll probably be acquainted with shoppers being into larger sizes product. They are looking for jumbo packs, mega packs, economy packs. Whereas in Europe, they are more price sensitive. They are looking into products, smaller products with a smaller cash outlay because they tend to purchase more frequently, but they like to have smaller prices on their product. So all this type of data analysis regarding category and shopper profile need to be studied by any brand before moving in. And that's the first one. On the second part, another challenge that sometimes is overlooked by brands is truly localize your content. So not only translate everything from your English copy to the local language, Dutch, German, or French, or whatever the marketplace is, but really localize it and speak to the local audience, to the local shopping that you're targeting through from listing to content to advertising, creatives, absolutely your whole brand presence, localize it into that specific marketplace. I think, yeah, if sometimes the brand doesn't have the capability, I think it pays off to have an agency that can really do the job. So not only translate it, but really localize all the content. And another point, as a main challenge, I think it would be the competitive landscape and how does this look like in the new marketplace that you're trying to launch in. So really do all the competitive analysis, but sometimes have in mind that in some particular landscape, there are some competition that are clearly having local brand awareness. It's a huge brand awareness because it's a local competitive. So have this in mind when you're doing your local analysis and try to understand how you can come with a better proposal. Analyze everything from the offer, pricing, communication, up until customer reviews, and try to understand what are the shoppers' pain points and try to leverage this from your advertising communication through your offer and through your listings. So overall, these are the main three key points I think that you should be looking at when launching into a new marketplace from my perspective.
I think I love the fact of the preparation, like all sports or anything you want to do, you need to get fit and exercise to be ready. And it's the same way. And I think from your side, Michelle, because also with the tool and with the background of that, is like, how do you perform like competitor analysis? What do you do in terms of preparation? Could you dive a bit more into that part of the preparation to get ready for a market?
Okay. Well, Marius already stole my words again. So again, and what he says is right. Like identify key competitors, analyze the competitor listings, do the keyword research, compare your pricing with competitors, for example, to be competitive but also maintaining profitability. And so, and some tools that you can use and some of our clients use and some that I know, for example, one is Amazon Brand Analytics for brand registered sellers. So it provides insights about search terms, market basket analysis, item comparison reports, third-party tools, one super common, Helium 10, to do keyword research, product tracking. Also one that I know, DataHawk, it provides sales estimation, competitor insights, reporting regarding the share of voice, bestseller ranks, price review. That one personally I know is very complete to do due diligence. Also another in the market, Amazon Scout to track competitor sales, also price reviews. So there are a bunch of tools in the market that you can use. And yeah, and also another point that Marius mentioned that is also important is the brand recognition. So when you're looking to expand your brand, it's important that you also do your campaigns, or either you're using a tool or doing manual PPC, is to have campaigns with your generic traffic and others with your branded traffic. And why you should split them, because the generic traffic will help you to be more competitive. So these are the ones that you are competing with the other competitors to rank higher, and your branded is to make your brand more known. And also to protect your brand. So if other competitors want to target your brand, you make it harder for them to appear on your brand name. So that is also very important to do. And also, once you get some traction, it's also important to do some ranking campaigns, meaning to identify the most relevant keywords of your ASINs and boost them and be more aggressive on them to try to reach the top of search on search results for those keywords. Because the most visible you are, the higher sales you sell, and the flywheel effect is like that.
Awesome. And I'd like to dive a bit on the brand recognition, because that does make a huge difference. Like if you're well known, like your duty is to expand a brand in a new market. If the brand is more or less well known, it will have a huge impact. Could you like dive a bit into the impact of brand recognition on the long-term part, like from not known at all to well known? Okay, the well known part is pretty easy, but like if how do you manage this journey of growing the brand awareness? What is there a big difference in approach in your advertising strategies? Let's say if you're not well known or medium or a bit well known, is there a few learnings on that point?
Yeah, for example, I think it's the brand recognition is important, especially in the mid and long term. The short term, not really, because maybe so in the short term, most of the brands are more focusing on getting more sales, be more profitable. But in the long term, to having a brand presence, that is really important. And at the beginning, you might not get so many sales, you might not be so known, but it's important to start building it little by little. And also, once you are known or kind of known, also when you split the generic traffic and the branded traffic in your campaigns, also your branded traffic normally have a lower ACOS than your generic traffic. And so it's really important to both to have a consistent measurement monitor on this in both generic and branded traffic.
And it loops into our discussions about what's your main KPIs, and if you want to protect profitability, then you want to go to the advertising, which will have the lowest ACOS and mitigate things. On that aspect of impact of branding on expansion, Marius, is there anything from your perspective and on the strategies of campaign management or other things and the journey brands should take?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a brand, especially launching in a new marketplace or geography, so once you have all the data that we talked about, so really the analysis on the campaign, on the typical shopper that you usually have to integrate everything into your brand story. So once you have a brand story and a clear message that you want to send into that specific marketplace, you need to leverage it throughout your content up until advertising targeting, right? Another point is it will be to create buzz around your brand into that specific marketplace. So try to leverage everything that you have regarding, I don't know, how-tos, walkthroughs, DUIs, everything that you can leverage with your brand. So you can be seen as a brand authority, let's say, as a most important brand in that specific category. And also last but not necessarily least is to leverage all the social networking and make them to be like amplifier of your brand message in that specific marketplace. And even go to the extent of hiring local influencer that they have already a very good credibility into that specific marketplace. So leverage all the I don't know buttons that you can have to show your brand to the local marketplace.
And I think it's crucial because like success and failure is all about converting your audience coming to your page. And if they can relate to a brand they've heard about, they can relate to, they feel they know, obviously your conversion rate goes higher. So I think and it's obvious, right? If you're talking about like Coca-Cola or a non-known cola, like obviously people will buy in one case most of the time, and the other time none. So it's very important when you grow on that journey. Indeed, like if focusing on building the brand is very important. And once again, it's a long-term exercise to our thing. It's like you can't build a brand within a couple of weeks, right? So it's investing in your future growth. And to a certain extent, we could say that people wanting to expand globally, if they don't have time, or they can't invest, or have some period of time where they're not making enough money and they're investing in the future, they might want to wait a bit to be able to have that investment time and not expect to have return on investment amazing at the beginning, because they want to set the foundations. I think we've seen quite a few things on, okay, why it's important, the type of data you want to look at, the potential of global expansion. Now, the one thing which is always very interesting is to look into real success stories. So I know, Michelle, you've prepared a few examples you wanted to share with us. So let's dive
Yeah.
in.
Yes. So here I took a screenshot of an account of one of my clients. Of course, I cannot reveal the name, it's private data, but what you see here is I'm comparing the last 60 days with the previous period, so the previous 60 days. And the green line that you see here are sponsored sales, and the blue one is ACOS. So you can see the evolution of both periods. And why I'm choosing this is because this is the time when these customers start using the M19. And you can see how they have increased the, before going into those details. And as you can see, this is Netherlands. As you can see in all this is Netherlands. And one thing to look at is the cost. This is the advertising spend. So in the last 60 days, they invest only 2,000, well, only, but 2,000 euros. And so, and comparing with the last 60 days, you can see that they have increased in ad sales, which is sponsor sales, and 86 or 88%. In sales, which means total sales, it's 104%. ACOS, they reduce ACOS by 13 points, and TACOS by almost 6 points. And what is a very successful brand. It is a household appliance brand. And the point here is that this is relatively a small marketplace. And here what they do is that they go simple. They have a more simple structure. So they have their campaigns in M19 for M19 users is strategies. So based on categories. And they have another strategy or campaigns for brand defense, what we mentioned. And that's it. That's all they have. And as this is an AI tool, M19, what it does is looking for the keywords, it's testing keywords every day and maintaining in general, also product targeting. So it's maintaining the good traffic. And so they have improved quite a lot in this small marketplace. And now if we look at the same brand, but with a bigger marketplace, if you go to the next slide, now we are looking at Germany. Here we're doing the same. We're looking at the last 60 days compared with the previous 60 days. And as you can see, the cost here, which is the advertising spend, is almost 11,000 euros. So it's almost a triple, 4 times. So you see the difference. And also you can see that they have improved their sales by an 80%, their sponsor sales, their total sales by 68, if I'm not mistaken, 68%. Their ACOS, they have reduced in 6 points. TACOS, they have also reduced in 2 points. And here, what I wanted to point out is that here they can do a more complex structure. What they have is that they have several strategies or campaigns based on categories. They also do brand defense here, but they also do competitors attack. So they have a campaigns specifically to target competitors. Also, they have ranking strategies or ranking campaigns, meaning they have identified the high-performing keywords and they are boosting them here. So this is not a copy, this is the same brand, it's just in another marketplace, but they are not copy pasting what they do in Germany, in Netherlands. They have different structure and both work well because they understood the difference in these two marketplaces, and they are having success in both of them.
So if I relate that to what we were saying a bit earlier, the first one is, we could say, is focused on profitability or like lowering the cost as much as possible because it's a smaller marketplace and the potential of growth is maybe difficult. It's interesting to see that they spend 2,000 euros in ad sales and they generated 45,000. So you're multiplying by 22,000, like €1 is generating 22 euros of sales. That's interesting. So they are trying to make it as efficient as possible, and that's working. And tell me if I'm wrong, yeah?
Yeah, sure.
And the
You're
second one
good.
is basically they are looking more at a growth structure. So in this case, the cost hasn't really decreased. The cost is flat. They spent 10,000, but they generated 362,000, which is huge. So you've got 36 times what you've did I do that right? But it's like it's €1 is 36 or is it 360? Okay, it's big anyways.
Yeah.
The point here is to say they've probably looked at growth potential because the leverage, the ROAS is 10, so it's actually 10 times. So they've been investing in growing more and taking maybe more costs, more risks to win more market share. So we can see that the two strategies can make sense in one situation, not in another. Clearly, smaller markets such as the Netherlands, Poland, or like smaller in the sense Amazon is smaller there. It makes sense to maybe not spend too much and like make it simple. And on the other bigger markets, that could be Germany, that could be UK, then maybe France, Italy, Spain. Those are the ones where you can take more risks. I think it's very interesting. I like the fact also that the simplicity you were talking about is like there's not like thousands of things, especially when you're going small or you want to reduce costs. You look at something which works well and you define it and you find it and you focus. On the other one, you add a bit more complexity, but it's not super complex. I think that's very insightful. I don't know, Marius, if you have any that brings you any.
Yeah, I was just thinking because the results are absolutely great. I was just thinking in the terms of the topic today, how this brand started, right? Because right now that we are showing it extremely well ROAS, that it's super encouraging, but it's really good also to know how they started and how the ROAS looked like at the beginning when they just launched, for example, right? So probably it was a different picture, and this is after a lot of work and analysis from the team and constant optimization. So yeah.
Yeah, and also, of course, it's not all magic. Of course, M19 is a great tool, but they also they have very good listings. They have, I mean, they are very well known in Germany and Spain, I think also France. And so they want to expand their brand recognition in the other marketplace, but they don't go so aggressive in the smaller marketplace. They are building a good structure, and then most likely they will be more complex once they reach a higher sales in the smaller marketplaces.
But when you're expanding, you need to start like one of the learnings from today is like start simple and clarify what you want to achieve and then focus on that because probably in Netherlands, you can't expect much more. And it's not, even if you would put a lot of money, maybe the result would take a lot of time or you would just win a very small amount. In Germany, we can see that we're spending at least the same. So the growth is coming. I think it's indeed very insightful. And that with that, we can jump into the Q&A session for everyone to ask questions. I think the what M19 has delivered on that is very interesting. And maybe the like could you dive into, since we looked at that, Michelle, could you dive into how did it work, or how does it work to make it like win in this competitive environment? Like, for example, what specifically in Netherlands and in Germany, and how did it generate such a good result?
Okay, so basically how M19 works, there are two types of tools in the market, talking about advertising. So are the rule-based and the AI tools. So M19 is purely AI, and what it does is create and optimize campaigns based on your goals. And so the tool every day is looking and trying new keywords and products to target, and it's purely performance based. So whatever traffic it's having good conversion, we keep it and we optimize it, the tool optimize it. And whatever traffic is not working well, the tool gradually decrease the spend. And this really huge time saving, because the tool is looking the keywords in all the different languages for you. It's adjusting the beats every day for you. Yeah, it's doing negative targeting for the traffic that is not working for you. So it really saves time and helps you escalate faster.
Okay, and we saw also the results of the campaigns. If you have questions, please do put them in the Q&A section. I do have one which we came here is like, going beyond ads, how can my brand further expand its brand recognition? Who wants to take that one? Marius, maybe?
Yeah, I think yeah, I already touched a little bit on that part. So I think yeah, going beyond ads, the brands needs to focus on content, needs to be very clear on messaging, also on audience to who it addresses their clear message. Try to create buzz as much as possible through all the media available, through Facebook, Google, Instagram, everything. And latest, yeah, create all, once you have everything defined, try to make it and boost everything, all your communication through local influencers and yeah, all kind of channels.
Thanks.
Also to complement, sorry, it's also something to complement Mario's answer, and that I forgot to mention before. It's really important, the social media and web presence, and especially now with the booming of TikTok, there are a lot of brands, especially jewelry and clothing, that use TikTok to expand their brand recognition and brings a lot of sales to Amazon. And also another tip that I forgot to mention before is that when you want to start in a new marketplace, also you can use the incognito mode, or use a VPN to see how competitors are performing in different regions. I think that can also be helpful.
So we have a lot of questions coming up, so we're getting into them. So one for Marius: over years of Amazon advertising, are there certain months to watch out for slower sales or higher ACOS, and what do you recommend on these times? So like fluctuation in terms of slower sales and then therefore higher ACOS, and what do you recommend?
Yeah, absolutely. So
Pray or
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, absolutely. So as I was saying, that the beginning of each product launch, and especially when launching to new marketplace, the beginnings are the toughest. So it's an uphill battle. You will see a huge ACOS, you will see a very low ROAS, so the profitability will be on the low side. My advice is to keep on to keep the same strategy, have a long-term plan, have a long-term P&L created, take this into consideration when launching. So have a clear budget for advertising that you will not see good profitability. So having the real expectations will make you not be demoralized when this kind of periods will be during your launch or your product life cycle. So yeah, for sure there will be. So try to resist pulling back on the most important keywords and the most important the campaigns that are delivering the most of your sales and your visits. So yeah, patience and strategy and long-term planning.
Resilience and long
Resi-
term, like it's a keyword, it's one of our keywords, so I hope we reference very good on long term. So one questions, I have a few M19 questions, that's obviously more Michelle. We mentioned optimization, like which gears towards efficiency. How does M19 tackle growing the sales for its accounts? The $1 million question.
How does M19, sorry, can you repeat?
Tackle growing the sales for its accounts. What is the approach to? It's a quite broad question, so maybe you want to focus on one of the things the system does to grow sales.
Okay. Well, as M19 is purely performance based, and so at some M19 will always typically will try to maximize sales depending on if you set up correctly the strategies in this case. But also a good point to mention is that so also if you want to grow at some point, also it's important to increase the ACOS. It's a bit contradictory, but once you get a sweet spot between profitability and ACOS, it's also, if you want to grow more, you don't get more sales with the ACOS, the lowest ACOS that you can achieve, then maybe the next step is to go for a higher ACOS, meaning invest more, get higher, more expensive sales, and that can help you achieve higher sales. So it also depends on how you set up your strategies, in this case in M19, to help you grow.
It all comes down to what we were saying at the beginning. You need to know why you're there and what you want to achieve, which is something some brands, like multiple people will have multiple plans, so you need to have alignment on that. Okay, Marius' question now. What do you recommend for products with ACOS and ad sales that don't improve over time, 90 days or more?
Yeah, it's a good one. I think a thorough analysis of what's happening and what's happening with the brand, what's happening with the conversion. So if everything is flat for 90 days, you might have a look also at the category. What's happening with the category? Is the overall category growing? Maybe it's slowing down. Are you winning versus competition? What is your competition doing? Maybe they're activating new promotions. Maybe they're having new products. So it has to be a holistic analysis, starting with the inside. So starting with your own offer, with your own branding, how can you improve? But also always benchmark to the external. So always check the category, always check the competition, and see what's really going on. So we leverage all the tools that you have and try to understand how did you change, or if you didn't change, how the competition or the landscape changed, and try to adapt to that.
So benchmarking is important. You're not like alone, so it's very
Exactly.
important. And yeah, around. And Michelle, question, is M19, okay, be careful, specific one there. Is M19 planning on a manual adjustment for keyword bidding?
Well, as this is an AI tool, so basically it's M19 that regulates the bids according to the goals that you set up. But we do have an advanced option where you can put your own bid on keywords that are for M19 users are called the focus strategies. So yes, there is a way to do that, but generally speaking, the way M19 works won't be changed to manual adjustment.
Okay,
But
so
there are specific
the answer is
options to
yes,
do
but
that.
it's not the design from beginning of M19. Another
Yes.
M19 question, so very successful M19. key differentiator of M19 from its competitors, especially PackView. So disclaimer, we are partners both with PackView and M19, but so Michelle will be for you to give your point, maybe not talking about the others, but what makes in your eyes M19 special.
Yeah, of course. Well, as I mentioned before, there are two main tools. So are the rule-based and the AI tools. And PackView, if I'm not mistaken, is the rule-based. So you set up some rules. So once you achieve, you set up rules to change either the beats, the budget, while in M19, for example, it's an AI, so you put a goal, either I want to achieve the 20% ACOS. So, and that's it. And then the tool will automatically adjust the bits to achieve that 20%. Or I want to invest $1,000 or euros in this month. So the tool will adjust the bits to spend in the most intelligent way those $1,000 in the month. So that's the difference. And basically, I mean, rule-based are for some specific needs for bigger corporations and already established in the market. I noticed that these kind of companies prefer rule-based, but other tools, other companies that would like to scale faster, save time, they would prefer to use AI tools such as M19.
Okay, so we could say the strengths of M19, if I understand well, is this automation will bring simplicity, and if maybe if the strategy is and your targets are very clear, and like we saw on the example, you want to achieve like best sales with a limited cost or growth in a very well framed, the system will deliver that automatically, very efficiently and very precisely, right? Is that a good way of saying it?
Yeah, and also yeah, especially simplicity, but someone who wants to have a lot of control, and either on a keyword level, on ASIN level. Also, people that do manual PPC, I have noticed that they have a hard time to adjust to an AI tool. It's not impossible. I have a lot of clients that have done manual PPC, and then they switch to an AI tool like M19, and it works great. But I have noticed that it's a adaptation time longer than someone that doesn't do manual PPC. So yeah, with the rule base or manual PC, you have a lot of control in everything. While in an AI tool, you have less. You let the tool do it for you, and you just have an overview of things.
Yeah, we are animal of habits. As a closing topic, I'd like us to talk a bit about AMC because that's one of my favorite topics. So Amazon Marketing Cloud, which helps you like give insights that you didn't have before, and maybe we can have your points of view. Like for me, it's a game changing like option or solution that Amazon has developed in giving you insights. It's mostly for people who are doing DSP and PPC, so like programmatic ads and pay per click. But it's also, if you're doing only PPC, it's also for people doing ads from outside. But I'd like to get your impression of how that is going to change the market or how important it is. Maybe we can start with Michelle and then Marius.
Well, currently, just and my team were working on introducing DSP. It's not ready yet, but we're working on that. And yeah, huh?
Well done, I said.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, and yeah, I think it's important because it also, I mean, it gives you like a omni-channel strategy where you can place ads outside Amazon and also help you with your brand recognition, expanding your sales in other market in other channels outside Amazon. So I think it's a great development.
Right, Marius, the final words.
Yeah, I think AMC, returning to AMC, I think it's an awesome tool that we just started tapping into its potential. All the data that they are providing on customer insights, on shopping behavior, on basket analysis. It's a huge data that we can leverage in advertising campaigns, retargeting, and just not advertising. We can use it in anything from new product launches, custom your new product launch based on the typical shopper profile or your typical brand shopper. It's unlimited what we can do with the AMC Insights, and I think it will be a game changer for the industry for sure.
Well, thank you very much. We're spot on 6 p.m. CET at least. So Michelle, maybe as a closing thing, how can people get in touch with you and M19? What's the best way?
Well, it's super easy. Just go to our website, www.m19.com, and in the upper right bar, there is a button that says Get Started for free. So we have a freemium option where you can test without any commitment the tool, and it's super easy to connect, to link your accounts. It takes a couple of clicks and that's it, and you're all set up. Or in case you want a dedicated rep, you want to have more access to the tool, and then we also have our paying plans as well.
Okay, and the best way to get in touch is on the website, or there's a contact?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and also for freemium customers, yeah, you can get it also in touch at support@m19.com as well.
Amazing. Support@m19.com or m19.com. For us, we are on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you very much, Michelle. Thank you very much, Marius. Everyone, have a great evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and see you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good day. Bye-bye.